Today we are with Sonia May-Patlan, and she contacted us because she saw our YouTube channel and is starting her own agency. So she had some questions for us that she wanted to answer. So we're going to let her introduce herself, and then we're going to get into the questions that she has for us.
Okay, great. Hey, super grateful to be here today. My name is Sonia May-Patlan, and I'm super happy that you were open to talk to me, actually. I am a software engineer going to be a web developer. Maybe I had a job at a very large software company for a good while, and COVID hit and kind of made me reconsider what I really want to do in my life. And I realized like, oh, I super still love to do websites for like my clients because I've always been doing this on the side. And I'm just gonna try this, do this full time. And before I do something like that, I thought, okay, I gotta talk to people who actually do this and are good at it. And yeah, so I'm here with you, and I'm super happy to learn from you and ask you a couple of questions.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds great. So why don't you just get right into it? We're pretty much an open book, so ask whatever you want and we'll answer.
You seem to be living the dream, right? From what I heard from you, you have become digital nomads. You have your very own agency. You are in charge of your own time. But how is it in reality? If you look past social media and all of that, is it like you had thought it would be, or is it different?
You want to take this one?
I think just like anything else, you're going to have good days and bad days. Social media tends to only showcase the highlights of people's lives, and I think we're no different in that we don't really talk about the bad stuff. We talk about the good things that happened, but there definitely are really tough days, and over the years we've been in business, there have been significant struggles, but it's something that I think everybody is going to deal with. Nobody has perfect lives, so I wouldn't change what we have for the world. I think it's wonderful, and I'm so happy that we get to do this every day.
Even though we were, digital nomads for a while, traveling on the road, that brought a whole different type of level of, stress and anxiety. But it wasn't that bad, actually. Like, I was surprised by how easy it was to actually continue what we're doing and be digital nomads. So that was something that took me by surprise, because it was actually fun to go out, because you do get kind of stuck, doing the same routine all the time if you're in one location. So yeah, I think the digital nomad thing was the best thing that we have done in a while. And the good thing is we do plan to go back on the road in the near future. So
once
Awesome.
the COVID situation is
COVID
done
right?
and over with.
Yep.
Yeah, fingers crossed that's gonna be soon.
I know.
Yeah. I mentioned that I want to make websites for small businesses, which is because I grew up with a small business. My parents are potters, and I love how people take something they really, really are passionate about and turn it into something great. And I also I know the struggles and all of that. But the thing is, when I go to professionals or basically anyone and tell them I want to make websites for small businesses, they're like, yeah, these people don't have a lot of money. So how do you deal with that? Because you don't have like a few large clients, probably. You probably have a lot of small ones. How do you manage that?
It's really just positioning yourself in a way that showcases the value you can bring to a small business. And you're right, a lot of people that are just starting out in business don't have a lot of money to invest. So they're very careful with who they spend their money with because they don't have a lot. So I think when you're dealing with small business owners, it's really important to really showcase that value that you're going to bring. And we tried to do this by saying that not only are you going to get a website that will help you grow your business, but it's going to be a website that you can manage, and we're going to actually teach you how to manage it through our custom training videos and documentation that we provide. So it might be a little bit more of an investment up front, but in the long run, you're not going to have to rely on a web developer to make those updates for you. You'll be able to take full control of your website and use it to grow your business.
Yeah.
And you found that to be important to the people who contact you?
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah.
important.
That's
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that makes us different in this industry is a lot of people want to lock you in, and you have to rely on them to make updates to the website. So we make it very easy so the client can go
Mhm.
ahead and make these updates on their own. And
Mhm.
yeah, like she said, it's a one-time investment, but then for years to come, you could probably update the website and not have to worry about any extra ongoing cost. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So how did you get to that target group? Why do you work with these people? What do you like about that?
For me, it was really similar to your story. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My father, my grandfather, they were all mechanics. They all ran mechanic shops. So I'm used to the small business lifestyle.
Mm.
So it was something that after years of working for different agencies and different companies and getting laid off after a year of working there because they just ran out of money, I just got tired of constantly having to honestly look for a job. So I
Mhm.
said, I can do this myself. And I just started the company.
Yeah. My favorite thing is you can directly see how it affects people's lives. Like
Mhm.
as something as simple as like a website for a small business can change a whole business's model, and it can change everything for this whole company. So that's a great feeling because I came from a huge corporate background as well, and you don't directly see if things get done. I've even worked on projects for years and then nothing ever happened. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm like working with
Yeah.
a small business is the complete opposite. And I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you have a small business, you understand the struggles small business owners go through, and it's something that we try to help with in
Hmm.
whatever way we can.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, absolutely agree. And
Hmm.
Mark, I totally feel your struggle with being in a large
Yeah.
company and not seeing the impact. So,
Yeah. I would
yeah.
sit on useless conference calls all the time and work on projects that never saw the light of day. And it
Yeah.
eats away
Yeah.
at you after a while. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I feel like on your website you also have a very good voice in targeting people and making them feel like, yeah, I think I can ask these people to help me.
Mhm.
You have a very friendly way of approaching people. Your copy is super nice and open, which also makes you stand out. Because a lot of agencies just have a default thing like we make websites, we make SEO, we make this thing, but they
Mhm.
talk always about themselves.
Yeah.
So, how did you get there? Did you take multiple iterations of that? Did you get feedback from customers? How did this develop?
That was all her. Like she radically changed how we changed our website content. And as
Okay.
soon as we started making it about the customers, that's when everything changed for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a few years of honestly struggling to get clients and wondering what we were doing wrong. We try to showcase that you can trust us, that we are just two people, but we have the experience and we know what we're doing.
Hmm. Yeah, we
Mm.
don't like a lot of companies, they will try to hide behind like this fake facade of a company. They're like, oh, we
Mhm.
have buildings and all these fake people. But I think a lot of customers can see right through that. A lot of clients can
Mhm.
see, oh, yeah, that doesn't seem real. And so that's why we decided to take a huge risk and be like, you know what, let's do the personal branding approach
Mhm.
as our business model. And it works. I would say it would work for most small businesses, just starting out freelancers. I think it's best to start at the personal branding level. Um,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's super great to hear.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, people are going to work with a small business owner because they
Hmm.
trust the
Yeah,
person.
trust you. They
Mm.
don't. Yeah, they don't care about all the other stuff that you're trying
Yeah.
to, portray that your company is. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
just from personal experience, whenever we've worked with small business owners for anything, it's because we trust that they know what they're doing, whether it be a plumber, a designer, a copywriter, anybody that has a small business. We want to make sure that they know what they're doing and we really kind of get along. So I think that really
Mm.
goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that resonates a lot with. I talked to a couple of business owners, and they were also like, "Yeah, I'm always getting this unsolicited emails from I don't know who, and they want to do this and that, but I don't know them."
Hmm.
So I feel like this personal relationship and especially the trust seems to be a super important thing.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's great to hear that it made such a difference for you. When you changed the copy, did you go out and test it? Like, did you put it in front of people and ask them, like, "Hey, what do you think of our new website?" Or did you just go for it?
We just went for
We
it.
just went for it and hoped that it worked.
We literally did a whole rebranding. We redid the whole
Mhm.
website look and feel, and then at the same time, we did the content change. A
Mhm.
lot of it, yeah. Not every page.
Mhm.
We kind of had some. It takes a little bit if you're going to change all of your content. I would just say stick with like your homepage first, then your other like core pages. So,
Mhm.
Mm.
It definitely had a different feel, but
mhm,
a lot of the core content as far as like our services and
yeah.
stuff like that stayed the same,
Mhm.
but we just kind of tweaked things to make it a little more personal.
Yeah. We really
Yeah.
thought about how we wanted the flow to happen. Like, okay, once the person lands here, how do you want them to, sign up for the services? And yeah, it takes a little bit to get there, but it's well worth taking the risk and just doing personal branding for your content.
Awesome. And it worked, right? So that's
Yes.
amazing to hear. So cool. Also, one thing that I found interesting, because you are two people, right? You have fairly small agency compared to other people who have like at least a team of 10 people and they all have specialists.
Mhm.
And you emphasize that you don't outsource.
Mhm.
So how do you manage the workload? How do you distribute the special elements that you have to do for your clients?
So yeah, we specialize in a few core services: branding, web design, and then ongoing website maintenance. Everything else in the process, we outsource certain things like the photography and the website content
Yeah.
writing. So there are some things that we do
If you need
if
those
you need it.
services,
Yeah.
if you don't have good photos taken, we have a network of people that
Oh, cool.
could help you
Yeah.
with that. If you need copywriting because you're not a good writer, we know somebody that can help with
Yeah.
that.
But for the website build, it's 100% in-house, which is something that is different because a lot of other companies in this industry do outsource a lot of design development. We do all of that in-house. Yes.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I generally handle the design stuff, so the branding projects, the actual
Mhm.
web design, and he handles more of the technical
Mhm.
aspects, like
Mm.
setting up the server and the coding and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
our relationship works really well because
Mm.
I do the things that he doesn't like to do, and vice
Yep.
versa.
So it worked out
Mhm.
really well. It's just like a match made in heaven. We got real lucky.
Mhm.
But we do only take on, so many clients at a time. So there are
Mm.
times where we do get booked up, and then we have to, have a little bit of a wait list. Definitely this year we've been seeing that a lot lately.
Mhm.
So that's something that we've been getting a lot more requests because of COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just think you have to be realistic about who you are, and it kind of goes back to that personal branding. That's one of the things that we say
Mm.
is we only take on so many clients per month because we're only two people and we want to give every client personalized attention. So we don't want to rush through the process and give you a product
Yeah.
that you're not happy with. So
Yeah.
that might mean that you have to wait in some cases, but in the end, your website is going to be really what you want versus a rush job. We never want to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. And you are fairly specialized, right? Like you use WordPress and Elementor, as far as I understand, right?
Yep.
Did
Yeah.
this probably help you in the process of doing things at a pace that you can manage for two people?
Yes.
Oh, yes. If this was
Yeah.
one thing I could tell someone that's just starting out, specialize in one or two like things. Like get really good at something and just stick to it. Because
Mhm.
when we first started out, we were supporting everything we could just because we
Mhm.
wanted the work. And
Yeah.
it sounds great in theory, but at the end of the day, you just can't be a specialist in everything.
It's too much to keep up with.
Yeah.
And if you're really good at one thing, then people that need those services for that one product that you offer are going to love it because they know that you're an expert in it. When we first started, like you said, we would pretty much do whatever because we just wanted the work. And we weren't getting great clients because it was just people that were like, oh, I just need one-off help. But when we started to niche down and really focus on a specific platform, a specific type of person, that's really when we started to get more clients and our business really grew. So it seems kind of counterintuitive. You think, oh, like if I can do everything, then I'm going to make more money. But actually, you
Yeah, and I would say the
It's the
quality of
opposite.
work can be a lot of times lower because you just can't do things efficiently, or have any sort of processes. Like with the way we build our websites, we have it down so quick now that we can get everything kind of up and running a lot faster than if we were scrambling trying to figure out, hey, how do I use this CMS? How do I do this? How do I do that? Like, we know all the little ins and outs, and that saves us a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think especially when starting out, like I definitely struggle with it because I think like I want to have any client possible because I'm starting and like I don't care what you have, just give it to me. But
Yeah.
um
So I
yeah,
would say just figure out what you really want to do and just
yeah,
stick to it. Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to get into that mindset when you're first
yeah.
starting out, but
Mm-hmm.
trust us that it does make a difference,
Yes.
and your life will be so much better if you just focus on doing one thing.
Yeah. It does
Yeah.
take a little bit longer to get more clients, but it is a longer process, but it does work.
Mhm.
We can tell you from experience it does. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. One more question, because I mean, we are right now on a YouTube channel, and you also have a couple of articles and how-tos, which is also how I found you. I was Googling something about Elementor, and your site popped up, and I was like, oh, cool, I can use this. So, how did that develop?
I would say a couple years ago, we really took our YouTube channel seriously. So when we were first starting out our business, we were told, just like everybody else in this industry, be on every social media platform, go on all of them. So we did that. And that is one of the worst things. That's like the worst advice you can give a company, because you can't dedicate that much time, especially if there's only two of us. So we were posting on, what are they? We got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It just doesn't end.
Pinterest, like everywhere, LinkedIn. It was
So
so hard.
eventually, after a while, we realized, oh wow, this, especially now, a lot of the social media platforms, they're like, it's pay to play, because they don't want to pay for ads. So we just gave up on basically on all the social media platforms besides YouTube. And we do some Pinterest still and a little bit LinkedIn, but we gave up on the other ones completely. We actually deleted our accounts, and then you can now focus all of that extra time on a YouTube, and that's what we're doing. That, and since I'm into SEO and all this, the ranking stuff, you're going to rank in YouTube, so you can't rank a Facebook post and have it rank in Google. It doesn't work. So we did it for multiple reasons. It's more fun, and you can help it, your search rankings for sure. Yeah.
And how did it impact your business? Apart from more time, I guess, I don't know.
I mean, the more time spent on things that we feel like we actually get a return on, that was one way. And I think that people really are starting to find us and contact us via YouTube. Like, you found us via YouTube. So that's happening more and more. The more content that we produce and the better we get at it. YouTube is definitely a long game. We're finding that out. But it's something that it can be a long game. Whereas a Facebook post, you post it, and then within an hour, it's buried in a feed with everybody else's stuff. A lot of our YouTube videos will sit for months, and then they start to gain traction months down the road. So we find that it's a lot more valuable for us because the information that we post is still relevant to people. It's not changing that much. We're not posting like news or content that would be out of date. So it's really good for us because we get that long game where with some of the other social media platforms, it was just like a constant struggle to just get anything seen.
Yeah. And you also need to learn the ins and outs of every platform, right? And like how to target this specific thing. And time sink, definitely.
It goes right back into specialize in one thing. I'd say, specialize in one or two social media platforms. Like, don't listen to these people that tell you to go on every platform.
You get burned out really quickly,
really fast.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Okay, I learned I have to specialize. And it's really important to build trust with your customers. So one last question. If you could go back, let's say 10 years from now, to your younger selves, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say start sooner. I was always afraid for whatever reason that this wouldn't work out, but I think you just have to have confidence in yourself and just believe that you can do it and just go for it. Another thing I would say is invest in things that are going to make your life easier. So don't try to do everything the old-fashioned way or the manual way. If there's a tool that costs a little bit of money that's going to make your life a lot easier, just buy it and use it, because it's going to save you so much time, and then you can focus on things that you want to do versus things like an onboarding process or managing leads or CRM and stuff, stuff like that it's more like the management tasks. I would say just invest in something that can help you with that.
Yeah. I would say, to me, in my experience, it was just really figure out what it is that you want to do. Like, what is it that actually makes you really happy, and then just pursue that. So invest in, education or whatever it can take to get you there quicker, and just do it. Like, just pull the trigger and really focus on that. Because when I first started getting into web development, I, just like everything else we've been talking about in this interview, I wanted to do everything. I wanted to do every single thing. I still have that problem to this day, but I'm starting to learn how to, narrow it down a little bit and just say, all right, I just want to do these things. Because I think what really changed my perspective is, I don't know if you're familiar with WordCamps, but they have WordPress has these really big meetups, and so we went to a few of the really big ones, the US ones. And I remember sitting there with a few people, at a big table, and people just, they don't know each other, and they're just asking you, hey, what do you do? And it's just like, I was starting to struggle and be like, I don't know what I do. Like, I should be able to answer, I only do these things, I specialize in this. So once I got to a few of those and I started to talk to other people, I'm like, wow, I really do need to, narrow it down to what I want to do. Yeah. But that's what I would do 10 years ago. I would be like, I'm just doing these, 2 things or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much. This has been incredibly inspiring and super, super helpful. Like, for me, it's like, okay, cool. I'm going to do this thing now. So
Alrighty.
thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, no, this was great.
This has been awesome.
We're excited to see you launch your business and get clients and live the
Fingers
dream.
crossed.
Yes.
You will. You'll do it. Just you gotta just get out there and do it.
Yep.
But you'll do it, and we're excited to see you grow.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.